The perfect 3-watch collection, according to me. Okay, so the infamous 3-watch collection is an impossible dream. There's no such thing as the perfect watch collection because our tastes, styles, preferences change and evolve as we hopefully change and evolve.
Never change. Dustin Henderson.
I feel like the traditional small watch collection advice would be having one sports watch, having one go anywhere, do anything watch, and your third watch being a dress watch. And it makes sense. You're pretty covered with every base there. But I find this approach kinda clinical. There's not much room for nuance there. So if it was me playing in these rules, my sports watch would be either a dive watch or a chronograph, but we're more of a dive watch family, so it would be my Tudor Black Bay 54 all day long because of my wrist size. But this is where you'd plug in your Tudor Black Bay, Omega Seamasters, Speedmasters, your Rolex Submariner, maybe a Glashütte Original CQ or a Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. So that would be my sports watch. For the next category, the go anywhere, do anything, you already know what I'm gonna say. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual cannot be beat in this category. Maybe the Omega Aquaterra, Railmaster, Tudor Black Bay Fixed Bezel, your boring watch that works with everything. And lastly, the dress watch. I'd go Cartier Cartier Santos. And that's a pretty solid 3-watch collection. That's a good looking watch roll. And a year ago, this is probably the advice I would have given. And I think this is the advice most of Watch Fam would give. This would be the popular thing to say. But it all just feels so bleh to me. This isn't what I personally would do. Now, I would probably formulate it a bit more like this. One watch that's a bit colorful and weird, a conversation piece, something that reminds me that watch collecting is supposed to be fun. The next watch would be something that is useful and hard wearing. And the last watch, something that's easy to wear, something that's easy to choose. I've recently started traveling more, so I've been to Germany twice this last month, going up to Yorkshire next week and then Somerset for a bit. And I always only bring one watch roll. So 3 watches, and that's it. That's all I can bring. And this is the system I've been using. Something whimsical, fun, a conversation piece, something useful, and something that's easy to wear, easy to style. So for something fun, a conversation piece, it's been my Nomos Club Campus. Deep pink. Actually, this is the watch I'm wearing right now as well. And even though this one is technically my fun watch, I feel like it still does a lot. So it has go anywhere, do anything specifications with its 36mm case diameter, 47.5mm lug to lug, 100 meters of water resistance. I've worn this to nicer, more dressy dinners, not black tie or anything like that, but you know, kind of nicer dinners. And I'll happily just wear this doing everyday things. Another watch I want for this category is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Celebration. I've made myself shamelessly available at the AD, and how much I want this one. It just belongs with me, okay? I love it. Or maybe something like this. This is IFL's newest release, going live today, the Tissot PRX Moji Concept, and they're actually the sponsor of today's video as well. Tell me this isn't the most fun and happy watch you've ever seen. So if you're not as familiar with IFL, I would describe them as the intersection of watches, fun, and art. They make playful, fun, avant-garde customizations, and this new drop is no different. So the artisans at IFL employ UV-resistant enamel paints, and each layer is painted and set to perfection. This is my favorite IFL watch ever. This is me in a watch. Explosive, fun. I love this. This is a conversation piece. I'd wear this with a t-shirt and jeans or a hoodie and jeans. And of course, this is a Tissot PRX, so a 40mm case. Already a top go anywhere, do anything watch. Stainless steel, 100 meters of water resistance, quartz movement. If you are interested in this watch, maybe you want to learn more about it, there will be a link in my description. So if you go follow that, it should take you to the IFL website. These are priced at £990 or 1,090 euros, and they are limited with a numbered certificate. Yeah, love this. And thank you so much to IFL for partnering with my channel. I actually want to switch over to the IFL. It's just so happy. So that's number 1, the conversation piece, the happy, fun watch. Second watch, something useful. So maybe a GMT, a chronograph, a diver, but something that is actually purpose-built and useful. When I'm traveling, it's been the GMT Master II for me. Actually, these past few months, the GMT's barely left my wrist. But for this category and building a 3-watch collection, I'd be pretty torn between the GMT complication, a chronograph, or a diver. And once again, I just think this category covers more ground than people think. A chronograph is one of the most useful watch functions. The Speedmaster, Daytona, Black Bay Chrono, Seiko Prospex, the Hamilton American Classic are pretty dang versatile as well. But as I said before, we're a dive watch family. So with a dive watch, you can use your bezel to time things, great for swimming if you go to the beach a lot or if you surf, or maybe even if you dive. Does anyone actually dive wearing these things? Gosh, I know my comment section's about to be full of real-life divers. For the useful watch category, I'd want at least 100 meters of water resistance and some kind of complication. Hey guys, Editing Brittany here. I'm just watching this back, and although I heavily explained what I'd want a useful watch to be, I didn't actually say what mine would be. So if it was my collection as it is now, the Black Bay 54. It's just so good, and I find dive watches so useful. But let's dream a little. Let's get into the fantasy. My dream useful watch, if I had a lot more money than I have now, would probably be a 5-digit GMT Pepsi, maybe a 16700 or a 16710. So good. Dream watch for me. And last but not least, filling the third slot in the 3-watch collection, I'd want something easy to wear, easy to choose. Something that works for me and my style, controversially, would be something like the Cartier Santos. So I know I'm going to hear about this in the comment section because it is a dress watch. Or on the dead ass opposite end of the spectrum, maybe something like my newest Casio, the MQ247 BLL. Now I know the outdoorsy boys are gonna dislike my watch choices. They both don't have great water resistance. They're kind of weird and small. But this is what I like about this category and this broader way of viewing it, because people have such different styles and preferences and needs from their watch collection. The watch that you might find the easiest to wear might be the Aquaterra or the Oyster Perpetual or a Tissot Gentleman or a Seiko Presage. Those might be your trusty go anywhere, do anything styles. But for me and my personal style, the way I dress, the places I frequent the most in my day-to-day life, a Santos is going to be just fine. I find myself reaching into my watch roll and choosing watches like these. My average day isn't mountain climbing or snowboarding or diving into the sea. It's loitering around coffee shops and pubs until they ask me to leave. And for those things, a sea dweller is not required. Although a sea dweller does look really cool. Dressed down, casual. Ooh, neo-vintage sea dweller. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm too deep into the watch game now. I can't see myself trimming my collection down to 3 watches. I'm too deep. Since I've been traveling more, it's been showing me how few watches I really need. But then when I think about selling a watch, I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I've been thinking and wondering if the Black Bay 58 gets the chop. I hardly wear it anymore. I almost always choose my Black Bay 54 over it. But when I think about actually selling it, I can't. Or my Cartier tank. I almost never wear it, but I'm just so sentimentally attached to it, you know? I remember when I first started getting into watches, when I got my first few, I had a Cartier tank, a Nomos Tanganta Sport, and the Tudor Black Bay 58. And I remember thinking, who would ever need more than this? Who needs more than 3 watches? Then you start getting too deep and you're like, yeah, 5 is completely sensible. No, now I need 7 because I need 1 for every day of the week. Then you cross way over the line, so I think I must be nearing 15. Not including Casios and G-Shocks. That's too many. Are any of you guys good at selling watches? Do you have any advice for me? Pop it in the comment section. I'd love to hear about it. And that's my 3-watch collection guide. That's what I would do if I was building a 3-watch collection. I'd love to know, what would your 3-watch collection be? Let me know in those comments down below. Thank you to IFL for sponsoring this video. If you're not subscribed, oh my gosh, get subscribed. Do it right now. And we need to talk about the gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful Pope tier patrons. Editing Brit here, ready to thank the Pope tier patrons. Thank you, Pope tier patrons. Thank you, all tier patrons who keep the lights on here at Gringa HQ and support my channel and just me generally as well. So thank you, gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful patrons. And the biggest thank you ever to our 2 newest Pope tier patrons, whose names will be on the screen right now. One of the names is very hard to say, but I'm going to go for it. Jobert. I'm so sorry. I know I've said this wrong. And CC. Thank you, new Pope tier patrons. Thank you, all tier patrons. You're all amazing, gorgeous, fabulous.